Buenos dias, bonjour my fellow wine-loving friends. Welcome to your new weekly wine video. Here we learn about wine weekly and I'm sharing everything that I know about it. Today we're talking about Spanish wine. When people think about wine from Spain, one word comes to mind, Rioja. This is the most famous of all the Spanish wine regions. People picture a dark, rich red wine that has spent a long time resting in oak barrel, big, bold and spicy. This is what comes to mind when you think about a Spanish vino. But yes, Rioja is important, but this single image is far from the complete picture. Spain is a large country with more land dedicated to growing grapes than any other nation in the world. Yes, Spain is the biggest vineyard on earth. Not French or Italian, Spain is big. It's a huge area that offers an incredible range of climates and soils, and it's actually more diverse in style than most people realize, and I want you to know about it. It offers everything from bubbly white wines to intensely sweet red dessert wines, salty dry wines, fortified wines, everything. The true story of Spanish wine is found in its many wine-producing regions, appellations, and its hundreds of local grape types, which I want you to get a feel for, get a taste for. So let's talk about it. In 10 or less minutes, you're gonna know a lot more about Spain. Let's go. Before I explain in a few minutes all the joys of Spanish wine so you too can become a wine expert, this is what we do here. I share everything that I know about wine. You have to know that this video is brought to you by the Bonner Private Wine Partnership, the best wine club in America. We bring to you exclusive selections of some of the best wines in the world from small producers that we import for you to the US, including wines from Spain and Italy and France, Argentina and beyond. More about this in just a moment. The biggest sign of the wide range of styles coming out of Spain is found in the country's many appellations, officially called Denominaciones de Origen, or DOs for short. We'll talk about some of the most important Spanish wine regions you must hear about in just a minute. But for now, appellations are protected regional denominations where winemakers must follow strict rules to ensure quality and reflect the local traditional style. Spain has dozens of these DOs and they show a massive difference in geography and terroir, the soil and the climates. For example, look at the contrast between the far northwest and the far south. In the region called Galicia on the Atlantic coast, the DO called Rías Baixas is very cool and very rainy overall. It feels more like Ireland than your typical image of hot Spain. Here, winemakers focus almost entirely on making crisp and clean white wines. I worked as a winemaker not far from this area when I lived in Spain, making wine for several years there, so I've enjoyed my fair share of many bottles of these wines locally, and they're delightful. These wines are often light and zesty and refreshing, with flavors of green apple and citrus and peach, a perfect match for seafood, of course there by the ocean. This style is the complete opposite of the heavy red wines that people expect from Spain. Now, you travel all the way to the south region of Andalucía. Here lies the DO Jerez, which is famous for sherry. Sherry, Jerez, same thing. Sherry is a type of fortified wine, meaning extra alcohol is added to it. The styles of sherries are vast. You can find Fino sherry, which is totally dry, light and almost salty, aged under a layer of yeasts called flor. Then at the other end of the scale is the Pedro Ximénez, often called PX, which is a rich, dark, molasses-like dessert wine made from grapes that have been dried in the sun to concentrate their sweetness. This is a thick, syrupy, caramel-like vino. So you have a huge range within just one region, sherry, which proves that Spanish wine is anything but simple. Another major area of difference is found in the northeast, in the Catalonia region near Barcelona. Yes, many regions in Spain focus on red wines and some on white wines, as we've discussed. Catalonia has another variety. Catalonia is also the home of Cava, Spain's most famous sparkling wine. Cava is made using the exact same traditional bottle fermentation method as French champagne. It's the Spanish champagne if you wish, but it uses native Spanish grapes like Macabeo, Xarel·lo or Peralada, which gives wine lovers a lighter, bubbly, festive option, slightly grassy, acidic, very outstanding alternative to champagne, completely different from all the still wines from central Spain and the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. Nearby, the tiny rugged DO of Priorat, the second most famous probably region in Spain, produces some of Spain's most powerful red wines from steep slopes of slate rock, showing a raw, mineral-rich style that stands out from the oaky Tempranillo-based aged red wines from Rioja. The second main way Spain shows its diversity is through its incredible wealth of native grape varieties. Yes, Tempranillo, that is grown in Rioja and Ribera del Duero, is the most famous red grape, but Spain actually grows over 400 different types of grapes, most of which were bred in Spain. They originate from there. For red wines outside of the well-known Tempranillo, there are grapes like Garnacha and Monastrell, known in France respectively as Grenache and Mourvèdre. Garnacha often is grown in hot, high areas like Priorat and Aragon. They create wine that are really big and juicy, full of ripe red fruit flavors. Garnacha is a bit lighter in tannins, but really fruity. Monastrell, on the other hand, thrives in the arid, sunny lands of Jumilla or Yecla in the southeast and produces deep, almost black wines that are full-bodied and powerful, quite a bit harsh, tannic. The tannins are a bit harsh, but they require a lot of sun to ripe fully, and then they get a little softer. We can also quote the Mencía grape, very local, which is becoming hugely popular worldwide, globally, and coming out of the up-and-coming Bierzo region. In our last collection from the Bonner Private Wine Club, we had actually an amazing selection of some of the best wine styles Spain has to offer, from 4 distinct styles of Tempranillo from different areas and with very surprisingly very different expressions. All our club members noticed how different they are. We had a Garnacha and even an extremely rare Petit Verdot, which is a rare grape usually found in Bordeaux, France. And they grow it in Spain too. It's anecdotal, but if you take any 6 Spanish wines from different regions like we did in our collection, you'll be amazed how different they taste, how each of them tastes truly like the place they come from, like the terroir they've been grown into, especially if you go for small, authentic producers and not large wineries, which is what we do at the club for selecting the wines for our collections. But anyways, for white wines, the differences are just as important. The aforementioned Albariño grape from Rías Baixas is known for its highly acidic, high acidity, freshness and aromatic fruit character, but they make also white wines from Rueda which is a little bit more inland, made from Verdejo, also really oily, really fruity wines made, having a lovely herbal aroma and a slightly nutty flavor that sets them apart from the coastal Albariño. In central Spain, they have the grape called Jerez, which is one of the most planted white varieties in the world. Jerez wines are dry and crisp, made in La Mancha, and they produce those simple, light and easy to drink wines that are perfect for everyday enjoyment. So really fruity on the coast, a little bit more nutty and oily in Rueda, and really dry and mineral in the center in La Mancha. Even white wines have a huge variety of styles in Spain. Did you know that? Let me know in the comments. In short, the world of Spanish wine is a large and colorful map. It is not limited to one style or one famous region. By exploring the country's many appellations, if you take the time to explore Spain, from the cool, seafood-friendly coast of Galicia to the dry sherry cellars of Andalucía, a really hot area in the south and the center, and tasting the unique flavors of all the grapes like crisp Albariño, the powerful Monastrell, Garnacha, Cava wines that are sparkling, you can truly appreciate the deep and wide variety that Spain offers to every wine drinker. The real beauty of Spanish wine is its ability to offer a perfect bottle for any taste, any variety of style of wine and any occasion. And now you know. Keep watching this channel, like this video and subscribe if you want to keep learning with me and become eventually a wine expert. Subscribe, and I will see you soon in the wonderful world of wine. Take care. Cheers.